Welcome back now. After exploding onto the public consciousness with the song on the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack way back in 1996,
I remember it well.
Mundy has become one of the country's most loved singer-songwriters with his hits, including some of Ireland's most popular songs, featuring Galway Girl, July.
Loathe them. He's also about to undertake another tour down under, and in recent weeks he's also been demonstrating his talent in the kitchen with our lovely Simon in Celebrity Masterchef. But how will he fare on this Monday's episode? Take a look.
When did you put your sponge in?
I'd say it has about 3 or 4 minutes left.
Did you put a timer on?
No, because I thought that was set up for something else.
Freewheel it.
Yep, you're freestyling again. Well done, Mundy.
Monday on Monday. You can't remember what that is?
I have no idea. I've completely erased all that from my memory.
That was a tough task.
Was it a dessert or something?
That was the dessert with Claire.
That set me over the edge. That was.
But you kind of freewheeled your way through that. Like the lads loved you for that, didn't they? I mean, obviously we can't say.
Yeah, you
much,
can't give too much away.
That was like buying something out in IKEA and forgetting to put one screw in it, you know, by the last minute. It was mental. And you could eat it like in 1 second, and it took 3 hours to make it.
Yeah.
Now, you are a foodie person. You love the food. I saw you actually stopping in the kitchen there on the way here. Yeah. Yourself and Simon are a royal pair. How did you get on performing? Well, not performing, but working with him.
Well, you know, dear TV3.
The bromance continues.
Like I do love food, and I cook a lot at home, and there's parts of it I struggled with, you know. There's a technical side to cooking, I suppose, that is, you know, where, you know.
No, I don't know. You see, I'm useless. So I look at you guys, and you're just like, you know, like iconic to me that you can actually whisk
for example,
and do
on Monday now we get a pastry masterclass from one of the best pastry chefs in the world.
Wow.
And she basically gives us a masterclass. She cooks something, and then we have to replicate it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the things that she does, and I think I speak for all of us, we hadn't got a baldy what we were doing.
What's this here?
This was last week. This is genius, Mundy. Tell us about you and this pigeon.
You look a bit
Listen.
stressed.
Come on.
I was doing a gig the other night, and someone goes, "How's the pigeons?" I don't know what happened. As I said in the program, I had a brain fart. Literally, I just because the clock goes on, you open the box and you've never seen any of the ingredients before. So I was like, I'm going to try this out. I was thinking on a crispy duck level of things with the pigeon, I didn't know whether it was a pigeon. It could have been a cat for all I know, you know. But at least I knew that the fillet of meat could be cooked quite quickly, and I had the stuff in the oven, so I was just kind of killing time, really, you know.
Literally.
So you literally just chucked it into the deep
I don't like pigeons. I hate
clearly
them,
you don't like it. Yeah.
So I think you have to deep fried, but you don't like.
You deep fried it?
Yeah. Yes.
What made you sign up to it? I know why I went into it.
Well, listen, I find when I'm away traveling that I watch a lot of cookery programs. I love them. Yeah. I guess I was going to be kicking myself if I didn't do it. I'd be asking questions. So I just said, and I had the time. So
you've children, of course, as well, don't you? So do you cook for them at home? Are you the primary chef at home?
I'm a bit of actually, it's terrible because we've an au pair, and I confessed to her the other day I'm a kitchen Nazi because I just look over her shoulder all the time going, you know, and it's very bad, you know. But I do love to cook, and you know, if I was out in a restaurant and I saw something I liked, I would try and make it at home. And
those tacos you made in last week's episode.
I was glad I made them.
I got a lot of tweets and texts from mates of mine going, what were they like? And I texted my back and said, nobody got a chance to taste them because the two judges horsed them out of us. They were literally scraping the remainders onto what's left of your breads. And
no, it was a good call, and actually, I have a friend in town, Hugo, who has a Mexican restaurant, and he told me how to make tacos.
Yeah.
And I have to thank him for that because, you know, I think that kind of impressed him that I could actually make
hugely. He said that
impresses me. I think
they said they were the best that they'd had.
Yeah.
What other dishes can you do? What's in your kind of wardrobe of food?
I love Italian food. I like Sunday food. Like I like roasts. I like, you know.
More traditional kind of dishes.
I like traditional cooking. I mean, to be honest, though, I moved to Dublin like when I was about 17 or 18, and my mum was a really good cook, and on a kind of an Irish level, and I'd always ring her up and go, "How do you make a gravy? Or how do you make a sauce?" And, she'd always tell me. So I find it therapeutic, as I said, on the show. It's a great way to kind of settle yourself after being away and living out of your suitcase for a month or whatever.
Listen, let's talk about the day job.
Yeah.
The day job,
the music.
You're still gigging away to beat the bands.
Yes. I've just did a gig down in Cork with it was a tribute to this great guy called Fergus O'Farrell, who's in a band called Interference, and we're in Vicar Street actually tomorrow night, and Glenn Hansard's kind of the head honcho, and Liam Wainley and a million different other musicians, and Jerry Fish. And so I'm doing that, and then in a couple of weeks I'm heading off to Australia for a month.
Oh, lovely.
So
You're going to Australia for a month.
Well, I go to New Zealand first, and then I go to Australia for about a week and a half.
How does that work with the work-life balance with your family and that? You're gone, basically, aren't you?
Genuinely, I wish I could do it here because, I love my kids, I miss my kids and all that, and thank God my wife understands that I have to go away and do these things, but I'm of the age where a lot of my fans had to leave the country and they're settled up in America or in Australia. So if the work's there, you got to do it,
Because you did a couple of weeks out in the States around at the end of Masterchef last year.
You 5 weeks just after Masterchef,
yeah.
And I went over there, and it takes a while to recover from the travelling because it's there's a lot of work that goes into it. I take care of all the not the bookings, but the flights and the travel and all that. And
so you manage yourself.
You manage yourself?
And I actually get myself out of bed in the morning, which is like I have a stick and I have to hit myself with it.
One of the things I love, just obviously, is throwing our mind back to the 1996 Romeo and Juliet album, the Baz Luhrmann film. I mean, I had that. I was living in Paris, believe it or not, working in Disneyland, and it was on, and it reminded me I was going out with someone at the time, and all these things instinctively when you're only kind of 18, 19, it's there. Do you think about that time in your life a lot, that particular period?
That's 20. This year, my first album will be 21 years old.
I know, God, you make me feel old.
No, I was quite young, of course, when my album came out.
14.
But it's amazing. I keep meeting people along the way and who were romantically involved or whatever, and go, that was our
special
song.
Album,
that was our song, and I even met a guy who was his first,
kiss.
whatever.
Yeah.
First kiss. Yes.
It's first romantic
But I love hearing the stories that a song that you essentially made up in your bedroom on a piece of paper travels and has this life, and it's great.
Is it the song that most people shout for at the gigs? Or Galway
No,
Girl?
but luckily for the first couple of albums, that was the one, and then July was on the second album, and so after every few, there's always one or two that people
Galway Girl was a big one, right?
And Galway Girl was a complete fluke. I mean, wasn't even a plan. I was on the radio with Sharon Shannon one night. Didn't really know Sharon, and Tom Dunn said, "Listen, Sharon's an instrumentalist. Would you learn this song that she played on years ago?" She was on the original version, and that night it just.
It exploded.
Yeah, it exploded.
You need Mayo Girl, Dublin Girl, you need them all. Carlow Girl, Offaly Girl.
Offaly Girl, yeah. Sweet Offaly lady. Yeah,
you need them all.
So listen, we'll see you on Monday night.
Yeah.
On the telly box.
Lots of slagging.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And best of luck out in Australia.
Yeah, thanks.